Ashley on The Young and the Restless.
Did you ever know I envied you your piano? Not the instrument. But you're wanting one thing, anything that much.
You wanted to write. You did, and you do.
It's Jack. What about him? According to Dina, he's not really an abbot.
I'm slightly embarrassed that you know about that. I mean, Arturo and I have been very discreet.
What's going to happen when Dad catches wind of this?
So no mention of you returning to Newman right now, nor any mention of Victoria's demotion.
Victoria, it's Ashley. I think that Jack is heading your way. And I'm warning you, he's been drinking, and he's very angry.
Victor!
Mr. Newman is in a coma at this hour, so the prognosis is unknown.
The doctor was here earlier to see if there was any change. Nothing to report.
Did you get any sleep last night?
Oh, I don't know, maybe a little.
Why don't you let me run you home for like a couple hours so you get some rest?
No, staying by her side.
You cannot stay here 24/7.
Yes, I can, and I will.
Look, you don't have to keep up appearances for my sake. I know how things really are between you and Dad.
Our arrangement doesn't change the way I feel about your father. I feel guilty that I wasn't home when he was attacked.
There isn't anything you could have done to stop that.
Maybe not. It's just knowing where I was and who I was with when this happened.
We don't have to get into all that right now.
And if I had been at the ranch, I could have called. I could have gotten him to the hospital sooner.
Look, you're going to drive yourself crazy with all these what-ifs. Right, what happened, this attack, Dad's condition, it's not your fault.
Well, whose fault is it? Who did this to him? Who attacked your father?
Honey. Nick texted, no change in Dad's condition. Sweetheart, your father is one of the strongest people I know. He never gives up without a fight. Were you able to keep Tina away from Uncle Jack this morning? Well, I had breakfast with her in her room, and Jack popped in to say hello, and then he left, so... We can't keep them apart forever. Long enough for her to forget the silly notion that Jack is not John's son. I mean, clearly her mind is playing horrible tricks on her, confusing my paternity with Jack's. You're still not sure? Tina has had so many moments of clarity since I've been taping her. Remembering the freak hailstorm on her wedding day, describing the dress you were wearing when she took you and Uncle Jack to the park. We have to at least consider the possibility that her story's true, don't we?
Welcome home. Thank you, Esther, for dropping your feather duster and agreeing to meet me here.
Your text was very mysterious. What is this mission you need help with?
I'm waging war against Nicky Newman.
What? Why?
My spies have told me that Nicky is making some changes to Chancellor Park, and I don't agree with them. Major changes that involved obliterating the landscape. Well, if that woman thinks that she is going to deface this beautiful Catherine Chancellor Memorial, she is sadly mistaken.
I'm telling you, that's Jill Foster. Can't be. There's no mistaking that voice.
Excuse me. If you're going to talk about me, do it to my face.
Hello, Jill.
Oh, my God, if it isn't Lori and Leslie Brooks.
Oh, my gosh. I have read every one of your books. In My Sister's Shadow is one of my favorites.
Thank you.
And I listen to your concert albums all the time. You are a magnificent pianist.
I'm flattered. If you are through gushing, Esther, I have a question for the infamous Brooks sisters. What the hell are you doing in Genoa City?
Funny, I was just thinking the same thing about you. We thought you moved away. We agreed to return for Walnut Grove Centennial, thinking, of course, that Genoa City was a Jill-free zone. And yet, here we are, face to face, with our former stepmother from hell.
Can you imagine the nerve of those two? Insulting me that way and then retreating to the bar.
Oh, I know that look. You are not going over there.
Let's not make a scene, Jill. We're here to enjoy the festivities.
Yes. Leslie, always the level-headed one, and Laurie, you're still...
Oh?
Fine. I'll take the high road.
A first.
Laurie, are you in town to celebrate the centennial, too?
No. Actually, I'm here to handle some personal business. I doubt if I'll have time for the celebration.
Well, in case you should change your mind, please let us know so we can make sure we're not running into each other again.
Oh, gladly.
Walnut Grove is honoring Dad. They're naming the journalism lab after him.
Oh, that's wonderful. I subscribed to the Chronicle since Stuart was the publisher. I still read the online version every day.
Esther, no one's interested in that.
We are. Dad poured his heart and soul into that newspaper.
Dad was hard-working and ethical.
Tough, but fair.
He held his reporters to some pretty high standards.
Too bad he tossed those standards out the window when he married you.
In case you've both forgotten, Stuart's life was extended because of me. I saved his life.
Oh, Mom.
How? I performed an emergency tracheotomy on him. He was choking. He couldn't breathe. He fell to the ground. I called Snapper. I followed Snapper's instructions to the letter over the phone, and it was horrible. But by the time the paramedics got there, Stuart was breathing again.
That day, you were a hero to our family.
It was all the other days that you were with Dad that were a problem for us. Especially the day you seduced him. And then pretended to be pregnant. You know, Dad was just coming to life again after our mother died. And he had a second chance at love with Liz.
And then you stole him from her, your own mother, and wrecked it.
God's sake.
Well, Mrs. C, filled me in. She loved to gossip about you.
Esther, please, for your information, I was very, very fond of Stuart.
You were fond of his money. That's really why you married him.
I was a single mother trying to provide a good home for my son, okay? And when the opportunity arose, I took it.
Oh, you sound like a character out of one of my novels. The put-upon heroine at the mercy of fate. But that isn't who you were then. You didn't take an opportunity. You made it happen. So how about you do us a favor, Jill? Leave the fiction to the experts. Because we're not buying your spin on the past.
Dina is in with Mrs. Martinez going over tonight's menu. Today seems like one of her good days. Maybe we should ask her about Uncle Jack again.
Honey, I already told you. Unless she brings it up, I think we need to let it go. If we push her too much, her mind is just going to fill in the blanks with bogus information.
But, Mom...
Sweetheart, trust me. This story is just a sad byproduct of Mother's Alzheimer's. She's probably forgotten everything she told you. And she's just going to come up with some new secrets that she has to share with you. She's confused. That's all it is.
I need to use your laptop. I want to find a man.
Like a dating website?
Oh, I'd never resort to such a thing. I'm looking for Jack's real father. He needs to meet him before it's too late.
Hey, son, I'm just trying to get in touch. It's been too long. Do me a favor, give me a call back. We don't have to talk about your beau. I just want to know about your life in New York. I'm not in the mood for company, okay?
Yeah, I can tell by the look on your face. So what's going on? Victor's in the hospital, incapacitated. Figured you'd be dancing the jig.
Your mother's here. I'm sure she'd be delighted to see you.
Ah, and ruin Esther's day? Nah, I'd rather figure out what's bumming you out.
It's Kyle. He's not returning my phone calls. I haven't talked to him in weeks. No, months. Not since he voted to have me ousted from my seat at Jabot.
Well, Jack, he's a successful, good-looking kid living in one of the most exciting cities in the world. He probably just doesn't have time for dear old Dad. I wouldn't take it personally.
He has time for Victor. Two of them have been communicating for months.
Why do you say that?
I saw the emails on Victor's backup drive.
Victor's backup drive? You care to elaborate?
It's not important.
I disagree.
What matters is the content. The two of them are working on something together.
Why do you say that?
Outside of the fact that they kept referring to the plan.
So they're talking in code?
Exactly.
I think you're being a little bit paranoid there, brother. Look, I know you don't like it, but Kyle and Victor, they've been close before. Sometimes it's easier to talk to someone that isn't your dad about stuff.
If these were a couple of casual emails, I would buy that. This plan thread goes back months.
So?
So if the two of them have been colluding for this long, it explains Kyle's no-confidence vote when I got ousted from Jabot.
What's up?
I got new evidence pertaining to the Victor Newman case. Digital forensics sent over a transcript of all of Victor's voicemails on his phone.
Mind if I take a look?
No, have at it.
Do any of them jump out at you?
This one from Ashley.
Victor, it's Ashley. I wanted to tell you I think Jack is heading your way and he's been drinking and he's very angry.
Right, and that was recorded just before the attack.
Well, that doesn't look good for Jack, does it?
Your mother was just about to fill me in on the new plans for Chancellor Park.
Oh, well. Go right ahead.
Well, you know, Harper at City Hall, she kind of filled me in on them. I mean, she said that Nikki has some really significant changes in mind, and she wouldn't give me any details, though. So but you see, here's somebody who might give me details. Victoria!
Oh. Hi, Jill. I didn't know you were in town.
I just got in a couple of hours ago.
Hi, Victoria. Hi, Esther.
You want to pull up a chair?
Please, enough with the pleasantries. I want to know what your mother has planned for Chancellor Park.
Well, I'm sure that's the furthest thing from her mind.
Well, she hasn't returned any of my calls and texts, so if you see her, would you please deliver this message? If the rumors I've heard are true, I'm ready to rally the troops. I'm going to do whatever it takes to protect that magnificent tribute to Catherine.
I'm actually here to pick up food for my mother who's at the hospital where my father is in a coma fighting for his life. So you will understand if I don't deliver that message.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I had no idea.
It looks like my order's ready. See ya.
You said that you read the Chronicle every single day. Why didn't you tell me about Victor?
What's on your mind, sweetheart?
I'm still mad at him for everything he's done. But he's my dad. And despite everything that's gone down between us, I don't want him to stay like this forever.
Well, don't talk like that, like he's never gonna wake up.
I bet you can hear everything we're saying. Probably taking notes so you can throw it in our faces later. But you hear this and you take it to heart. You gotta get better. Your Mom, Abby and Vic, all your grandkids. And me too. Come back to us, Dad.
If only I could remember his name.
Are you sure that it's not Brent Davis?
Positive. The man I'm looking for is Jack's biological father.
Do I have something on my face?
Hi, Uncle Jack.
What's going on?
Nothing. Except I think maybe it's time for some tea. Mother, would you like some tea?
Oh, I certainly could use a
Okay,
cup.
yes, good. Come with me.
Wonderful.
Let's go in here.
How you doing, kiddo?
I'm a little tired. You know, I was at the hospital all night.
I heard he's still unconscious. I'm terribly sorry.
Thank you.
Come here. If there's anything I can do to help you, let me know, okay?
I will, yeah.
Abby, grandmother wants to talk to you for a second.
Okay.
Thank you. I know it's not easy for you to set aside your animosity towards Victor, and I'm grateful that you did that for Abby.
No, it's not her fault she got stuck with a black knight for a father.
Well, that didn't last long. Have you heard anything about Victor's case?
Why are you asking me?
Because you found him. I'm assuming Paul would keep you in the loop.
No, he hasn't, and now that I've given my statement, I am delighted to wash my hands of the whole thing.
Aren't you at all curious as to who did this to him?
I could spend all day rattling off a list of names of people who would like to do him harm.
Right. But not all of them had a nasty run-in the same day that Victor was attacked.
You want to ask me something?
Me? No. But if I were Paul, you'd be at the top of my list of people I'd want to talk to.
I found it.
You did?
I did.
Oh, darling, all my magical moments and treasures are inside.
What are you looking for?
This is the key to the motel room where Jack's father and I spent our afternoons.
Stardust Inn.
It's on the outskirts of town. Jack's father and I wanted to be discreet. I told you I was telling you the truth.
Well, why don't you sit back and close your eyes and just concentrate? See if that man from the club, see if his name just comes to you.
Oh.
Anything?
No. But I do remember all the passionate encounters we shared. Take me to the Stardust Inn.
Seriously?
Yes. Maybe if I go back to the room where I had the affair, it'll jog my memory.
But Dina, that was decades ago. It might not be there anymore.
Well, look it up in the laptop.
Okay. Let's see here. Stardust Inn. No Stardust Inn in GC.
Damn it. Well, at least you tried.
Wait, hold on a second. There was a Stardust Inn. They changed the name. Hey, maybe the building's still there. Let me put in my GPS. Let's see. 1827
Elmwood Park Road.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, what are we waiting for? Let's go.
If I'd known about Victor's condition, I never would have been that insensitive with her. Great. That's just great. That's strike two for this visit.
What would strike one?
The Brooks sisters.
Sounds like a singing group.
Lori and Leslie Brooks. They used to be my stepdaughters.
You're what now?
Oh, well, I was married to their father, Stuart, for a brief time, once upon a time.
How do I not know any of this?
Because it didn't last very long, Billy, you know, and it was just a little blip in my romantic history that I would rather forget about. You need to tell me about my grandchildren.
No. I want to hear about this little blip.
All right, I just wanted to provide Philip with the kind of home that I never grew up in. And Stuart checked all the boxes. I mean, he was professionally very successful. He owned and published the Chronicle, right? He was kind and successful. And he had a lot of social standing. He had a lot of, well, he had a lot of things that I really liked about him. But his daughters from his first wife, boy, they were opposed to the marriage. They did not like me.
Did stepmom Jill not give them dessert after dinner?
No, they were adults when I married their father.
Jeez. I mean, I know you always liked the old men when you were younger, but...
Don't be so crass, Billy, for God's sake.
Is that what it was? Was it the age difference? Is that why they despised you?
Well, that might have something to do with it. But the big issue was...
Mom, you can talk to me, okay? I was just kidding. I'm not going to judge you.
Okay. They accused me of stealing their father away from the woman he really loved. Your grandmother, Liz. Stop it, Billy. Why are you laughing?
Because the amount of grief that you made me feel about dating my brother's ex-wife, I just realized that my lack of family boundaries is really inherited from you.
Hi. I won't stay long. Just wanted to check on him. Is there any news?
Unfortunately, no.
Okay, well, I've made a decision. Hopefully will ease your mind during this difficult time.
What is it?
I'm going to return to Newman sooner than I anticipated. I'll look over the day-to-day, and you can just focus on your father.
That's really not necessary.
My way of helping. Take as much time as you need. Away from the office.
Nikki.
Arturo, what are you doing here?
I just got worried when you weren't answering my messages, and I wanted to check on you. And Victor.
That's so sweet of you. But you really shouldn't be here. It's not appropriate.
Well, it's going to be hard to stay away from you, but I understand.
Well, for the foreseeable future, my sole focus is going to have to be on my husband, because this whole thing has blown up. You know, the whole world is watching me, and I have to be the dutiful wife. I can't do anything to risk that.
I will give you all the space you need.
Thank you.
And, you know, when all this settles down, reach out. Grade school.
Can't believe Vic forgot the utensil.
Arturo stepped by to check on your father, but he's leaving now.
Yeah.
Arturo, right?
Yes. We met yesterday at the Newman Ranch.
So, are you here to see Victor?
Well, Ashley, I'm here to offer my services, be that a coffee run or a shoulder to lean on, anything that helps the family.
So kind of you.
I actually got to get this.
Great presentation yesterday.
It's a cause close to my heart.
Look forward to working with you.
Me too. Excuse me. Sorry.
I'll tell you what, you were smart to get into bed with that one. Now, his expertise is going to really help the project. He's a keeper.
I noticed you left out referee when you were singing Arturo's praises.
I have put all of that unpleasantness behind me.
What unpleasantness?
Jack and your father got into it. Little spat, and then Devon and Arturo had to break it up before it got physical.
Wait a sec. So you almost got into a fight with my dad earlier, then you come back later to find him bloodied and bruised? Does that seem like a big coincidence to you? What'd you come back for? Finish the job?
Nicholas?
It's a valid question.
I came back to apologize. I know that seems unlikely, but it's true. Look, for your mother's sake, I chose to be the bigger man. Your father and I have our issues, but I have always preferred to take him on in the boardroom instead of with my fists.
All right, I'm going to go back to your father's room.
Mom, I want you to stay here and eat something, okay? I'll go keep Vic company.
I apologize for Nicholas's third degree.
All right, emotions are running high. Tell me something. Do you know anything about Victor's schedule?
Not really.
I saw something online about him meeting recently with Kyle.
Kyle, your son is back in town?
No. He's still in New York.
New York? Victor hasn't been to New York in a while. Well, you know, I don't know.
Well, maybe just another piece of social media gossip. I'm glad.
Have a seat.
So, what can I do for you?
Well, I'm investigating the attack that put Victor Newman in the hospital. And my understanding is that you were on the Newman property yesterday for a business meeting.
For Nikki and Nick's new housing project. They wanted me to present a proposal to some potential investors.
So Jack Abbott and Devon Hamilton?
Victor was there too.
Uh-huh. And my sources tell me that the meeting ended badly. That Jack and Victor got into an argument.
I'd say it went a little past an argument.
How so?
Well, Jack lunged at Victor. Had Devon and I not gotten in the middle, would have been an all-out brawl.
Am I a bad person for wanting to go to work?
Yes.
I just feel really helpless here, you know? At least at Newman, I'd be helping Dad by keeping his company running. Does that change your answer?
No. I'm kidding. Go do your thing. Wheel and deal. Make him proud. I'll stick around. Hey. What's up?
Oh, nothing. It's just,
Did you and JT get engaged?
Yes, we did.
Did you expect him to sit up and object?
Kind of.
When did he pop the question?
Last night. It was kind of sudden. But, things have been so good between us. And we've just had this incredible connection ever since he's been back. We're so good for each other.
Does Mom know?
Yeah, she's not thrilled. What do you think?
Vic, if this is what you want, then I'm happy for you. I really hope you and JT make it this time.
The exterior's been painted a different color, but this is definitely the motel where we used to rendezvous.
Well, any other details coming back to you? What he looked like? His name?
No, not yet. I'm sorry.
Oh, don't worry. It was worth a shot. All right, let's get you back home.
No, stop. We've come so close, and we can't give up now. And I've got to see if this key still works. Number 5.
Oh, Dina. Wait for me.
I'm going inside.
Oh, no, you can't.
I can. I have the key.
Well, they changed the locks.
Oh.
Okay, what are you doing?
I'm trying to get in. I have to remember his name. Hello? Hello? Is anyone in there? Hello? Well, I thought that maybe this would work. Graham. Yes, Graham.
What about him?
Well, he's the name of the fellow at the country club.
No, it's not.
It's not?
Graham is the name of your companion in France the last few years.
Are you sure?
Maybe this is where you would meet Brent Davis.
No. This is another man, not Brent. If I could only remember his name. This man was so handsome. And he looked so much like my Jackie.
Let's get you home. Any distraction? I bet his name will come to you when you least expect it.
No. Why didn't I make a life with you when I could have? Well, at least we have a reminder of the love that we shared. Oh, every time I look at Jackie, I see you, my love. I see you.
Hey, Dad.
Hey, I didn't expect you guys to be here.
Faith wanted to come and see her grandfather.
Mom said he's sleeping, but I still want to tell him I love him. Can I?
Yeah, of course. Doctor's in with him right now. As soon as she's done, though, we'll go in.
Okay.
Here, I'll tell you what. Why don't you go and hit up the vending machine?
Okay.
You want anything, Sharon?
I'm good.
Looks like more candy for you.
Saw you pacing. I know that you're trying to work something out when you do that. Do you want to talk about it? It would just be a friendly little chat. Is it about Victor?
I mean, it's just confusing, you know? Can't stand being around him when he's healthy. But when he's like this, I can't leave him.
Because he's your dad. And it's awful that things like this would bring that home to you when you have to consider losing a parent. I know that Victor's capable of very bad things, but mostly I know that there's another better side to him, and it's hard to reconcile the two. He's always seemed so invincible, such a constant in our lives, but this makes me wonder What would life be like without him?
I'm thinking about that myself. Sure, Mom has too.
Oh, Nikki, I just heard about Victor. I am so sorry.
Yes, well, I heard that you had quite the rant about my plans for Chancellor Park.
Listen, whatever concerns I may have had, this is not the proper place to discuss them.
Well, Jill, you don't really need to have any concerns because I am planning a beautiful, appropriate centerpiece, Catherine Chancellor Garden. It'll be like a town square where family and friends can gather, they can socialize, rest, relax, whatever they want to do. Then we're going to have an eco-friendly playground, not to mention an electronics-free zone. So there's a whole lot more, but I think you understand where I'm headed.
See, I'm so sorry. In my mind, what improvements meant were ripping up the grass and allowing commercial development. And I'm so sorry, Nikki. What you're saying, it sounds lovely.
I'm so happy you approve. The dedication ceremony was going to be this Friday, but because of Victor's condition, it will be postponed.
I had no idea you'd be in here working on my father's projects.
With your father in the hospital and you being demoted, it only makes sense that I would take over as acting CEO.
Oh, you must have misunderstood. My father did reprimand me, but I wasn't demoted. I'm still COO. I outrank you. So I will be filling in as CEO.
Your father told me himself that you were demoted, Victoria, and that there would be an in-house memo regarding it.
Well, I had Nathan double-check the paperwork. My father never composed a memo. There was never anything sent to HR. So, for all intents and purposes, it never happened.
So what happens when your father recovers and he calls you out for lying?
I guess I'll have to deal with the consequences, won't I? It is my sincere belief that during this crisis, my father would want to maintain the status quo. So having me in that chair sends a strong message to the shareholders that the company is in stable hands, family hands.
Other people must know about the demotion. I told Abby.
Oh, yes, Abby. Well, she's your daughter. She's obviously going to side with you over me. So I guess it's my word against yours. Who do you think the board members are going to believe? A Newman or an Abbott?
Honey, we have a glass of wine. Do you want one?
Oh, yes, please.
Where have you been?
Well, I was at a motel with my grandmother, who claims to have cheated on my grandfather with a man whose name she can't remember.
Okay,
yet she's convinced that he's Jack's real father.
Would you rather have a tequila?
It's bizarre, right?
You have to tell me everything.
Dina, she kept a key from a motel room outside of town. She thought if we went there, she might be able to remember the name of the man from the club.
Don't tell me the key actually fit.
No, they changed the locks long ago, but Mom, she kept a key from that long ago. She remembered the address to the motel. She shared intimate memories of her time with this man. I mean, when you add it all up, Mom, she seems so sure.
Listen, I have to admit, Des lends me credibility to her story. But until we have definitive proof, we have got to keep this between us. You promise me that?
I'll get it. Thank you. Paul, hi. Is everything okay?
Abby, is your mom home?
I'm right here, Paul.
Do you mind if I talk with her alone?
Mom?
Oh, yeah, it's okay, sure.
Okay, well, I'll be at the hospital if you need me.
Okay. Do I need to get Michael on the phone? What's happening?
No, you're not in trouble. Jack might be. My team got a transcript of Victor's recent voicemails. There was one from you, warning him that Jack was angry and heading his way. Now, if you know any reason why Jack would attack Victor, you need to tell me.
Well, how serious could this be for him?